Mm-mm-mm. Ah, how funny. Just feeling like doing a live. But really, I don't have anything to say, nothing to talk about. There's just this, yeah, very playful energy right now, just wanting to apparently do a live. You never know what will happen, right? There's no way of knowing what will be said, what will happen. There's nobody to know. And of course, nothing in the end even happens. Like, nothing important will happen. Maybe a laughter, maybe some frustration, maybe anger, maybe whatever, everything. Anything can arise, of course. Of course, of course. Feel free to talk about anything. This is not important. This is not special, or you have to be in a certain way or use a certain kind of cool non-dual language. No, this is just hanging out. This is just talking. We have beautiful weather here today. Wow, it's so blue, the sky. I love this color, like sky blue color. It's one of my favorites, apparently. Really enjoy it. Incredible, incredible. I love these incredible stories of space and the sky, and but not aliens and that stuff, so don't talk about that. But just, in the story, it's so beautiful how we think, I mean, oh, there's a blue sky, and beyond the blue sky, there's the whole space, the whole universe, but you can't see it right now. You can just see a blue sky. And we know why it is like that. Like, I love all these empty stories of what's going on when nothing is really going on, and nobody can know anything. It's just beautiful, amazing stories. And some are really freaking boring, of course, and some you find really nice. Apparently, some stories can really resonate. It's just preference. That's just this appearing as preference. But it's just empty. That's not a thing. Like, it's just what's arising. Resonance just arising. Really nice. Really, yeah, it's nice. And some just like to hang out, some just like to, not write anything. Just, yeah, just sit and chill and whatever. But yeah, of course, nothing is important, so, and everything is already pointless and empty. So nothing is wrong, and nothing is right or more correct, or, there's not a way. There is no way. There is no path. This was always pathless. Really always pathless. And that's really cool, since it really appeared and felt like a path. It really felt like a life. And someone who was walking, always moving forward in life. And were you doing things that would improve the next step in your life? Or did you do something that would set you back, to a lower state? Or just, you didn't improve? It's always about improving in the story. The me always wants to improve, to fix, to add, to level up, always longing for the next something else. This longing for fulfillment, which will never happen to you because the me is already not there. It's already this, it's an illusion, it's already illusionary. So of course that will never happen to you. It will never happen to you. Oh, it's just laughter about this whole cosmic joke. Yes, the cosmic joke when it's already wholeness and so full. But the search is the fullness, the longing is the fullness, the flaws, they are the fullness. All neurotic behavior, addictions, eating disorders, depression, sadness, melancholic psychosis, or all of that is already this unconditional freedom, nothingness arising as that. It's already everything. It's already everything. So there is no way and there is no state and nowhere to end up. And you can never get this. You can never have this. And that's just also so mind-blowing, right? How nobody can ever have this. Ever. And it was always like that. The only one who dies is the one who has questions. And suddenly there are no questions left about what's happening. Because it's so obvious that nothing is really happening. And it's not happening to anyone. That was just a dream. Seeking, searching, fulfillment. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there is no choice in doing that or not doing that. You cannot do anything for this to stop. That would be a teaching. That would be a concept. That would be the dream, because it's someone here trying to teach someone there about this. I mean, come on. There is no freaking way. And there is no separation, so who could teach what to who? That's already 3. Oh, incredible. And it's all allowed, It's all allowed. So many imaginary, illusionary prisons, just thoughts, you're just imprisoned in thoughts. But I mean, also not because everything is already this freedom. Thoughts are this too. Everything is already this. But there's so many rules in the world of I, of the self, in the world. There are so many freaking rules to follow. Hi! Would you say Anna Brown is a teacher? I haven't listened to her videos for a while because it stopped resonating, because it seemed like she was starting to talk about consciousness and the light, and I don't know, it just seemed more spiritual. It appeared like that here, so it didn't resonate anymore. But that's already, of course, just this freedom arising as that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it seemed like it started to turn into more of a teaching again. But I don't know. She's still awesome, though, of course. It's just this freedom arising as that. Hello, hello. Hi. But yeah, it's like as soon as someone is addressed and you are given a practice or something you could do to change this, yeah, it appears to be a teaching then, of course, because it's like someone is speaking to someone. Did I say someone and someone? Whatever. Yes, thank you. That's, yeah, it really stopped resonating, actually. Nothing wrong with that. Hi, Julia. Thanks for doing this. I'm curious, are there any gurus you used to follow that now you look bad and say that person was pretending to be awake? No, I mean, the guru is already nobody, appearing as a guru. So there's nobody to blame. There are no harsh feelings or anything. But it's really funny though, how, for example, I was a very big fan of like Mooji and Nisargadatta, Ramana Maharshi, yeah, all these teachers, but mostly Mooji, because you can see his videos on YouTube very easily. But how it went from, wow, this is so serious, I need to concentrate and just receive his words, oh, he's so special, to just laughing now, looking at it. It's like a kid's show. It's just this kid's show, it doesn't mean anything. It's so empty and it's so funny looking at it. But it's not different from, watching movie than watching like Scooby-Doo. It's just a story happening, but it doesn't mean anything. I recently looked at the video with Muji, and I can only look like 10 seconds because it doesn't resonate at all. It's really icky feeling, but also so much laughter because it's so serious. They sit there and do, do these mantras, and because you're gonna end up somewhere if you do a mantra, but that's just empty play. Nobody's doing that. It's just this freedom arising as that. Nothing wrong, but of course it's pointless. It's pointless. I love your contagious laugh. Hugs from the Netherlands. Yes, hugs back. But yeah. This was always pretty giggly. No choice in that. And it can appear very rude sometimes because these giggles even in the wrong moments. And can't help that. That's just what's happening. Scooby-Doo. Yeah, exactly. Have you listened to any Osho Discord? Just a little bit, but I mean, now you're just giving a story, right? This is just telling a story now. On my spiritual path, my teacher said that Osho was like, he was not good and he didn't, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. This is just empty words, right? But it's still the same. They are addressing a self, an I, and they are addressing someone who can attain something, which is saying that this isn't already what's being looked for, right? It's something else that you are looking for, something better, something higher, and you need to do things to attain that. That's just a dream, right? There's nobody here already. This is already fucking perfection, arising as whatever, unconditional love, wholeness, So yeah, of course. They say you need to do something to reach a certain state or whatever, and that's the dream. Let's say you're addicted to television or whatever hobby. When you awaken, do those addictions necessarily fall away? Absolutely not. It's just seen that nobody had the addiction. It didn't belong to anyone. So it's just addiction playing out by itself, and nobody there who is like contemplating about that, because this whole sense of that this is my life and certain things are right or wrong, it falls away, right? So it's just innocence arising as an apparent addiction, and there's nothing wrong with that. Addictions are unconditional love. And of course, some may fall away. It depends on, I guess, why they were arising, But this is already so innocent. It's just really unconditional love. But let's say there was this heavy addiction due to like a sense of lack of love or loneliness or fear of death. I would say that those things might fall away then, because it's seen that there is no death. It's already love and whole and complete. But really, innocence, it's all innocent. Addictions are just innocent. Freedom to be addicted. Yay! Are we fooled all the time till it ends? No, it was such a funny comment though, but no, nobody's fooling anyone. It's just whatever. Seemingly feels like, you are a person and seemingly fading away, and nobody is noticing that because that sense of I falls away. So it's just this, like nothing happened. Really like nothing happened. But that was really funny. Would you say there are some people who, as children, never develop a self or an identity? Oh, or is it universal in your view? Hi from Canada. Hello, Canada. I have no idea. There's no way of knowing that. Really, there's just, some seem to develop a sense of self, and that's just this arising as that. But yeah, I actually have no idea, but why not, right? Literally, why not? It's just everything is already that, though. There's already no self. So, of course, there's already no self. Oh my God. It's like I can't even there's no understanding here happening. Catherine, Yes, here too with Muji. The interviewer is obviously full of love for Muji, putting him on a pedestal higher than the. Yeah, just cannot relate to this anymore. No, exactly. Like that whole story of that some are more or less special and hierarchies, and that just crumbles. Everything just crumbles. So there's literally no sense of, someone being higher or more special than anyone else, because that whole sense, of duality just poof. So, and it's also just, there's it's just so empty, right? Like I was recently in this really, intense discussion with a doctor for a person I'm working with, and there used to be this, oh, he's a doctor. Oof. But it's just empty. It's just so empty. It's just this arising as a doctor. So that it was just talking so freely with this doctor because it's so empty. Everything is just so empty. It doesn't have to be like that though, because everything is already this. But I don't see any difference between six people. Oh, okay, yeah, no, of course, there's no difference. It's already empty. Empty, empty, empty. Hi from Brazil. Hello, hello, hello. Love you too. Welcome to nothing. Welcome to Crap Show. Welcome to some shitty TV. I remember Alan Watts said he loved to drink, but then people like Uji Krishna, who seem to denounce all. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, Alan Watts. I know Ere, who is here. Hello, Ere. Loves Alan Watts. And I used to listen to him a lot. I haven't done it now, but actually I think I will, just because, not because it means anything, but he frames things so beautifully sometimes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there apparently then these teachings came saying that some things are wrong. And if you do these things, you won't, get where you want to be. But of course, that's just a big fucking joke because everything is already this, right? This rejecting parts of yourself, which happens a lot in the spiritual story, it's just, of course, a fucking dream, an illusion. Everything is already this fucking love. So yeah, and there's no difference between anything really. Drinking a big bottle of vodka and water, there's no difference. Really, there's no difference. Everything is the same and nothing is more or less important. Jump, jumping in and out. Ah, yeah, Ere. Okay, I didn't see that was a part of your message. So funny. Ciao, ciao. Hello, hello to you too, from Sweden to Austria. Okay, hi Julia. One morning I was listening to Nisargadatta's ultimatum pointers, and suddenly I realized he's asking me to notice that which is not here, and I felt myself falling into this empty abyss. I was able to surrender my identity to that. It was such a powerful falling. Then I felt a lot of heat and crackling, and it felt like I was going to kill me. Yeah, I don't know. This is, I mean, okay, you wrote a lot now. I don't know. Uh, wait. Okay, I'm just going to try to read this. Then I kept my attention. It just sounds like a lot of, I don't know. Do you have any advice on how to not get excited when this kind of shift is trying to happen? The thing is, there is no shift, and this doesn't happen to anyone, and I can't give any advice about anything because there's nothing to do. You are already not doing anything, and this is already it, arising as whatever, arising as this story, right? So, and you have no choice. You're already not there doing anything, so there's no advice, and this can't happen to anyone. And this can't happen to you. It seems like an experience that happened to you, and this is the end of the experiencer and the experience. If there's an experience, there's an experiencer, and that's the dream. Is it just balance of energy happening? No, this is fucking chaos, okay? This unconditional love, freedom, whatever, this is chaos. Oof, it's so wild. It's everything. It's anger, it's rage, it's missing the freaking bus because you ran and your shoes got wet in a water puddle, so you had to go back and change shoes. It's crying, screaming babies. It's homeless people. It's war. It's the worst freaking thing you can ever think about. It's just this nothingness, emptiness arising as that. So, but and that is balance. You can say then everything is balance. War is balance. It's all balance. It's all perfect. So, do you still do things like protest and work for charity and stuff, or do those things and purposes fall away as meaningless? I mean, they can happen, and there's no choice in that. But no, I used to go on like demonstrations and stuff like that, like for different stuff, and apparently that just fell away. And there's no difference in going or not going because nothing is even happening, you know? If the character wants to go, it goes, but there's no choice. It doesn't matter in the end. And yeah, this one I guess was always like giving money to the poor or like buying food for someone who needs food. So that can happen and also not happen. No choice. It's just, by itself like that. So it happens sometimes and sometimes it doesn't happen. And a lot of serious stories which was really connected to an I and identity. Like Julia was a feminist, a socialist, and all these stories, it all fell away, kind of faded, collapsed. So yeah, I mean, there's no world and nothing is important. So either it happened or it doesn't happen. And here it doesn't happen. It has just relaxed, a lot of that, because it's a lot about like trying to change the world, because you see suddenly things are wrong, when there's a me there, things are wrong and the world should be in a certain way, right? And there's no sense of that anymore. Nothing is wrong. Everything is as it is, and it's just empty. It doesn't matter. It's all already as it is, perfect. So there's nothing to change. There's no urge of changing things here. Or like seeing the world in a certain kind of way. I don't know. Is distance between objects also a thought? If you think about it, yeah, but I mean, it's all just a part of this empty appearance, appearing as distance, but really there is no distance because there's no one in a world within objects. It's just empty, but it seems like that, it appears like that. I tried telling Rupert Spira that awareness is a part of the illusionary eye. His minions disagreed. Yeah, of course, because you were threatening the story there. You were threatening the eye. So, of course, he was trying to protect its precious little identity. And, I mean, I'm just really, there's a lot of just fucking around today, apparently. This doesn't mean anything. But yeah, that's just emptiness, innocence arising as that. Arising as stop threatening my story. So free to be that. Good morning, good morning. Oof, I'm getting very hungry, feeling the low blood sugar. Something went wrong. Okay, now we're back. You know what's weird? It feels like people who are awakened have amazing quotes and insights. There must be a relaxing of the body and mind that makes the clarity possible. I see what you mean here, because it's like, when this isn't freaking full of the stories and, in the end, me, right? Yeah. I mean, it's weird to speak about because it can appear to to feel like, you know, or seem like there is a change happening. But yeah, if there's a story of the me there, there's so much to keep track of, right? All the knowledge, other things you read, and you have to like kind of be sure about saying the right thing, but it never kind of feels right, I guess, in a way, because it's all, you know, just empty kapoof. But when the story goes, it's just, you know, there's nobody talking. There's never anyone talking, but yeah, I don't know. I guess so. When the story drops, there is, of course, clarity that there was never anyone here. And the story was just a dream, it's just a dream happening to no one. So the seriousness falls away. Definitely. Are you in United States? No, I'm in Suecia, in Sweden. In Sverige. I never speak Swedish here, so, you know, that was fun. Where does past go? Where it disappears? Is it stored somewhere like a movie chip? That's so funny. It's just a thought, right? The past only arises here when you think about it and feel it, but there's only this, right? There's only what's happening. So the past is just this felt sense of there is a story, there is a timeline, but there is really only that felt sense of it. It didn't really actually happen. It's not there, it didn't go anywhere. It's just a felt sense of a story, and that can just fade, and that's it. It's really so freaking simple. It's so simple. Oh. Yay, Sweden, Sweden. Yeah, I don't know if there's any Swedish people here following. It would be fun to talk about this in like your home language, you know, no idea what that would sound like. Is there a difference in what comes to your mind in the morning, the minute you wake up, in the state you are in now compared to when you identify with the I? There is no state and there is no mind. It's just this, right? So I have no freaking clue. There are no states, and there's nobody here who like is in a certain way or has something. So I guess it's the same, but of course not, because it's just seen that, or it's not even seen, it's just what's happening. Yeah, there's no one here who is identified or not identified with something. That's the dream. That's the dream of the self, the identity, the I. What are there? 28 minutes. Whoa, already? Feels like freaking 10 seconds. I see that everything is thought. Other than thought, there is nothing. Even the sense of I am. So there is nothing here. Is this true? So there is nothing to do, no enlightenment, no self, just to play. Yeah, I mean, there is no truth, of course, but yeah, there is nothing. This is nothing appearing as whatever, you know. And the dream is that this is appearing and arising to you, that you are here and there is a world. And within that dream, everything can arise. A spiritual path, a corporal path, an animal rights activist path, a path of a criminal, a prostitute, whatever. That's just a dream, right? That is happening to you. But yeah, there is nothing, there is no you. And this is already what's being looked for. This is already it. Whatever is arising is already what's, you know, what you're looking for in the end, I guess. Wholeness, completion, the end of the search. So yeah, that's just a story. Enlightenment and blah blah blah. That's just a story, a dream. My ADHD mind plays music to me 24/7. Yeah, that's so beautiful, right? No choice in that. It's just this arising as that. It's just this wholeness, freedom arising as an ADHD brain, you know, playing music. Isn't it beautiful? And it can also be horrible, and that's just freedom arising as that. This being horrible. No escape. What is beyond nothingness? No idea. You tell me. There's only this. But there seem to be many cool stories of there being something else. So I think you can find something. Oh, so foolish today. Sorry. Sabi, hello, hello, buddy. Funny, funny. I dared to do a live. I don't really like these things apparently, but now I do. So, yeah, no choice. So, okay, let's say you meet old friends you haven't seen in a while. You can project how nervous you might feel or what you might say. Does the same nervousness happen today to you? Fuck yeah, anything can arise, really. And there is, there's no making sense in that, right? Like I was literally with my boyfriend recently, and he's a boxer, and he was gonna do a game, a match. I don't know what it's called in English. And the room was really crowded with these big sweaty boxers everywhere, just like 50 men in this room. And this just walked there, felt absolutely nothing, just nothing. You do usually you feel like you can't come close to certain people because you feel so self-conscious. Nothing, was so empty. And then it can be talking to my grandmother, and suddenly there's just so much self-consciousness arising or nervousness arising for like paying for a chocolate bar at the store. It's so innocent, right? It's so wild. It's just spontaneous as fuck. Already free from stories. So yeah, of course, everything. I guess it depends on the character or whatever, but that is also not a solid thing, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna close the window. So yeah, anything can arise. Absolutely. Hi, Turkey. Is there any chance of all the stories of all the people will end? I don't know. The thing is, there's only story, right? But there's a felt sense of that the story is happening to you. But in the end, you can also say there's only story. So I don't even know what that would be then. No stories anymore. Oh fuck! There's really so much just silliness here. So much silliness. But yeah. Thank you. I love and appreciate you doing this. Can I donate to you for taking time to do this? Oh, that's so sweet. And it actually makes me apparently feel very uncomfortable when you say that. Because it's so obvious that this is just whatever. But if you want to donate, sure. There's, I think, yes, I have an email on my YouTube. You can write me there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any. I do have a PayPal. Yeah, I do. But yeah, I don't know. I feel very uncomfortable with this. Look, anything can arise. Freaking anything can arise. Of course. And it's just so empty. It's just, it's just empty. And so alive. Can't think yourself out of what's happening. Free of story. It's amazing because watching the old gurus made you think this was so mystical. But it seems so simple and obvious. Yeah, right? It's very simple. It's really simple. But, it's just freedom arising as those spiritual stories of this being something that's very hard to attain, and you have to struggle so freaking much to reach it, and you need to reject everything you really like. You need to reject pizza. You need to reject, sex. You need to reject drinking beer. You need to reject watching Netflix for 10 hours a day. You need to reject everything, to reach this state. So, yeah. Have you got to the point of forgetting the stories that you used to tell yourself? I see what you mean. I don't know. There's just this, need to address that, I didn't get to any point, of course. But yeah, there's nothing beyond what's happening, right? Really, if like I have a boyfriend, beautiful family, all this stuff, but when that is not arising, there is no felt sense of that even existing. Really, there's only what's happening. Literally, a couple of days ago, I walked into a store, bought something, walked out, looked at my hand, a while later, and was like, oh yeah, I bought that. Like, there's only what's happening. There's only this. There's nothing beyond this. So, yeah, but there's no one who has that though. So, there's no one who needs to keep track, and there was never anyone keeping track of things. That's really painful, and stressful to feel like you are the one keeping track of the story. But this is your story arising, appearing from nothing. So, yeah, no one ever was, keeping track of anything. But yeah, there's really, only what's arising and nothing else. Really, no sense of anything else. You are seeking something which you have already there inside you in its total beauty and perfection. Nothing has to be done. Doing is absolutely relevant. Yeah, but it's not inside or outside. There are no insides or outside. There is only what's happening. So yeah, and there's no choice in doing or not doing, no choice in hoping that this will change something. This is choiceless. You're already not there. There's no one who can do anything. This is autopilot and you are being played. No, there's no player and all that stuff, but yeah, there's no choice. Oh. Does whole life of a person arise simultaneously in just one arising? I mean, I guess yeah. I mean, there's only what's arising, right? I need to almost this whole life of a person. Yeah, there's only this. There's only this. This whole life is only this. It's literally only this arising. I was gonna say here, but there is no space, there is no time. But yeah, life only happens here, but there is no life. There's no one who has a life. There's only what's happening, what's appearing. All else is just thought and a felt sense of I who has a life, and that can apparently fade away for no reason at all, or maybe it won't fade away. No choice in that. How old are you? I'm 30. Have you seen Ready Player One? No. What is that? I don't know, maybe, but I don't think so. Can you tell us about what apparently happened when you realized this? Not that it matters, but it's still always nice to hear. Yeah, I mean, it's just storytelling, right? It's just fun. It's really fun. But yeah, I mean, it's a quite funny story. I guess I would just tell a little bit. But so I was in this like really, school of light, like an ashram or something, right? But it was a fucking cult in the end. But yeah, it was a school of light in Greece. Very beautiful place, but really crazy stories. And then I came back to Sweden because okay, this has nothing to do with this. I'm just gonna say that. But my guru told me you need to go back to Sweden and close your karmic circles. So we can start our own ashram. So I was in Sweden closing my fucking karmic circles, and suddenly a video of Jim Newman appeared on my screen on YouTube. And I played it, and then he said, oh yeah, consciousness is the dream, the path is the dream, and the person is the dream. There's no one who can do anything, and enlightenment and spirituality is just another story. It's just another dream. And poof, the bubble popped almost. This like the spiritual, it was just really, because it started to be so obvious, like it was already started to fade. So it was just so obvious for no one that was just a wow, like whoa, fuck, that's so true. It was just this It was so obvious that, of course, there's no karma, there's no enlightenment, and that was just a celebration here, actually, for this one, when those stories fell away. And then it was just kind of a, it's been just like a slow fade with some really intense episodes of just peace and bliss, but also everything, just sadness, depression, everything. Ding. It's a film. Sorry, too slow for your jokes. Can you set boundaries with someone you're uncomfortable with, or should you stay away from him? So this isn't counseling or giving advice, because there's really no sense of something being right or wrong. Both are this innocence, and there's nobody who can choose anything. Uh, so, you're not choosing to set boundaries or to not set boundaries. That's just innocent arising as that, automatic. You're not doing it. And it's all already this unconditional love. And that's why it can appear so radical. There's no difference. So, can't give any advice, because there is no way. There is no way and no choice. You're already not doing anything. Jim is great. Fuck yeah, I really like Jim. Always like Jim. It's just I really like the way he speaks about this, because apparently we have different flavors or whatever. But yeah, it's so straightforward and no bullshit and no romantic stuff. I really love that. Your spirit like 60 years old. Well, this is already ageless. Everything is already ageless. But yeah, I was just talking to a friend about that. Ere, you should check her out, Ere Non-Duality. I love her so much. She's beautiful. But we were just talking about that. Like, it's so funny how this, growing up and adulthood and being in a certain way, it's just made up stuff. And apparently this didn't get there to the adult state or whatever. I don't know. This is just innocence. Innocence. Appearing as seriousness, of course, sometimes also. Everything can arise. Oh, Erin's here! That's so cool. Yeah. I thought you left. Yeah. I've been watching Jim Newman for a while, and it feels like that what he's pointing to is whatever I'm looking for, but I can't stop seeking. Yeah, because you can't stop anything because you're already not there and you have no choice. So, of course, that can appear very frustrating. Feeling like you have a choice, but this was always choiceless. So you can never choose to stop seek or not seek. Either it happens or maybe it will drop. There's no choice in that. And yeah, this is already, this freedom arising as seeking. Nobody there. Very frustrating, I know. Would you please spend some words on the old school of Advaita, the myth of consciousness, being the witness, awareness, and so on? Thanks. I don't know what to say about it. You need to ask more specific questions if you're wondering about something specific, but I don't know a lot of stuff about that. Like, all I can say, it's just a dream. It's just a story, and it doesn't mean anything, and it won't lead you anywhere because there's nowhere to go. This is already it. There's only this. So this whole story of, there's a deeper kind of awareness, greater consciousness, look inside, you need to remember all this stuff. It's just a story. It's just an illusion. And yeah, that's it pretty much. There's nowhere to go. This is already it. Are you afraid of death? No. That has completely dropped, I can say. It seems like that. There's no fear of, Of course, if there's a car coming, this body will automatically get out of the way because apparently it doesn't want to die. There's just this, natural defense mechanism or, survival instinct like all animals have. But there's no fear of death, no, because there is no one who has a life and nobody who can die. So no, that's actually not there. In order to see how this is, you must become like a child. No, oh no, 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 no. Fuck, this story was really the thing in the spiritual cult I was in, that you need to be like a child to enter the doorway to heaven or whatever. No, everything is already this. You don't have to be in any way. That's the fucking dream. That's really the dream. And apparently it's nice to talk about that, because this felt a lot of pain in that, because of course you're not always childlike, happy clappy or whatever. There's, I mean, a lot of serious stuff happened too. And everything is already this, everything is already this. There are no ways. That's the dream. That's the story. Scrolling. Do you have opinions about normal day stuff like politics and other people? And do you share this with friends and family? Yeah, just natural, normal conversations arising. No choice, it just happens by itself. Having opinions or not having opinions. And it's just talking. I mean, yeah, it's just talking. It just happens by itself. Nobody's doing it. And no choice in what's being said. And it's not like stored in anywhere. And I don't know, sometimes this tries to keep track of what's being said, but nobody can keep track of anything. It's just talking. Of course, there's no difference in anything. This is not different from talking about Trump with my grandmother for an hour. It's all the same. Innocence arising as that, freedom arising as that. So it's fun to have opinions, right? Fun to discuss and all of that. But this whole seriousness of you need to convince someone, or you're terrified of having your belief popped because someone is almost convincing you that they are right and not you. That whole conflict, energetic, that's not there. So it's just very light, you can say. Light opinions. Have you read Upanishads? No, I have not. Jim has great video on the end of seeking. Yeah, I really like his videos. Love you too. Christians love that one. I guess I missed this one too. Where this comment was connected to something, I guess, that I said, but I have no idea what that was about. What are the aftermaths of your enlightenment or realization on your social day life? Did relations change? So nobody got enlightened. Enlightenment is just a part of the dream, the story, a path. So yeah, nothing changed, but also a lot of things changed, of course, because I mean, the one who had everything and had to keep life together and, was so afraid of life, that kind of died. So, I don't know. Something's changed, like this kind of, you need to have I talked with Ada too recently, that you need to have a lot of friends, because otherwise you feel lonely. So you need to keep track of all the stories and share your story and relate, and following all these invisible rules. All that stuff kind of dropped. So there's less exchange with people. I would say it's yeah, I don't know, but it doesn't have to be like that though. It can also be the opposite. But whatever was based in fear and loneliness, and that kind of dropped. So yeah, a lot of things fell away, I guess, but it's also exactly the same at the same time. It doesn't feel like the thought is the problem. It feels like there's a holding. It's like an invisible holding that I can't pinpoint. Yeah, it's literally like a contraction. I guess you heard this before, but really it feels like just a contraction, you know, and it just feels like it's happening to you because there's still thought. Thought is also this, it just doesn't happen to anyone. But suddenly it can feel like it's really happening to you, and that the thought is you, you know. It's just this felt sense of there's someone here and everything is happening to this one, you know. This just this contracted sense of, oof, I'm here and everything is happening to me. So of course thought is not a problem. Nothing is a problem, really. There are no problems, but you know, the presence of me, so to speak, makes everything into a problem because suddenly everything is wrong and needs to be different. And when that thing changes, then finally I will feel complete. But you will never feel complete because you are already not there. That's just a dream, right? That you will ever feel complete. You will never feel any of that because you're already not there, and this can never happen to you. So you don't want this. You want completion, you want peace, you want wholeness, but you are already not there. And that's the seeking, the illusionary seeking, I guess. So funny saying things and it really means nothing and you have no clue about what you're saying. Weird question, but do you still buy new clothes and stuff, or did this fade away? I totally get your question because actually I had this thought here too. Like, you know, would you still do that if there's not a me there, you know? Of course I do. And even more, I love it because finally it's fucking guilt-free shopping, you know? There used to be so much guilt of not, you know, not consume, not buy stuff, and you know, also like really afraid of my money, you know, going away, and there was a lot of this fear and guilt. And now it's, you know, guilt-free shopping. Shop till you fucking drop or not. It's just beautiful, automatic. And yeah, when that guilt dropped, you know, there is more shopping and really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. I love going to secondhand stores. That's one thing I just love it so much. Just looking around, finding lovely stuff and earrings and whatever. So if the character likes to do that stuff, it will just do it guilt-free, no shame. No shame, because nothing matters. So yeah. But if it was a lot of shopping to like fill a hole of emptiness, maybe that will drop then and you won't shop that much anymore. Because some things definitely stopped happening. Like I'm not buying a lot of self-helping books or meditations or whatever, you know, a lot of stuff I also stopped buying. And my home is actually pretty empty right now because there used to be a million books and things to show my identity everywhere, but I don't know. It's just more empty now. No books. You see, it's empty. Nothing wrong with books though. This is just blah 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 talking. Repetition in life is boring. Like same people, same you, same motivations. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because in the story, apparently, you know, you think this is happening to you, so you are seeing everything again and again and again. When there's no me, it's really just so fresh and new, you can say, but also very ordinary, but really seeing it for the first time always. And that's why it's, of course, so stunning. And that, you know, this is what the me wants. The me was to like, wants, you know, that, hoo ha, that kind of feeling. But yeah, in the story, you are keeping track of the story. So it seems like you are seeing things again and again and again. But, you know, this is already so innocent and empty, so it's just stunning how this can arise like this, and there's no knowing of what this is. You cannot know what this is. I have no idea what this is. There's nobody here to know and nobody asking questions. It's just what's arising. And yeah, it's beautiful seeing for the first time. Can you live a happy life without this? I mean, that's the thing though. A happy life only exists and is valid within the story of me. There's no one here who has a life. So that fell away. There was literally a point in this where when this was like, fuck, I wish I never came across this message, because there used to be a life and it was so nice to have a life and felt like things mattered, you know? So there's no one who has a life. A happy life is a part of the dream, and there's nothing wrong with that. No choice in that at all. That's beautiful, go for it. But I guess, yeah, no, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Do you ever feel lonely or unworthy since the ego dropped? Can loneliness be still there sometimes? Everything can arise, but it's just like it's not arising to anyone. And of course, a story can come with that. That I am lonely and I need to do something about that. What can I do about that? But it's just so obvious that that is just this innocence, emptiness arising as that. And once, that feeling drops, it's like it never happened. It's always like that. Like things doesn't happen, you're not keeping track of anything. But yeah, there's less of this, loneliness and that stuff because there's this sense of completeness. And like being content, I guess, but anything can fucking arise. There are no rules, literally no rules to anything. It feels like everything is suddenly in 3D, whereas before it was 2D. No need for commentary, no need to know it. Yeah, no idea, just what's happening. What's happening. Seems to be a lot of some spamming here now. Isn't it beautiful with this innocence arising as trolls? Can I kick this person out? Hide user on this channel. I think I succeeded. Yay! Success. I don't know if you can see him, but whatever. He's not choosing to do that anyway. Having a life is stressful. Yeah, it is, because it feels like you are the one keeping life together, but this was always automatic and it was always happening without you. So, of course, it's very stressful to seem to have something together that you never had together. It was always done by itself. So, yeah, it was always automatic. One last question, and then I'm gonna go and cook some food. I love what you say about the shopping and book stuff. Same thing happened here. At one point, I just collected all spiritual books in my home because I didn't want to see them anymore. Yeah, it can be like that. When we close our ear, we hear a sound. What do you think about it? Everything is already silent, you can say. Everything is already this silence, this emptiness. Heavy metal and freaking death metal or whatever, that's the silence. Everything is already the silence. This is the silence trying to hear and find the silence. That's the freaking loop. Everything is already this. It's already this. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Tommy. That's so sweet. Okay. Bye, everyone. Much love. This was fun. Take care. Take care.